I trained this crab to be friendly. Now he'll behave.
No, I was just thinking, how do crustacean species interact with each other or behave?
Well, Casey, crustaceans, especially decapods, exhibit some complex and amazing behaviors and communication skills. For example, the Caribbean spiny lobsters form a long row of up to 65 individuals and march single file into deep water. No one is quite certain why this occurs, but it may have something to do with avoiding storms during the winter. Also, juvenile red king crabs often gather together in mounds that may contain thousands of individuals. This helps them avoid getting...
Well, it's like a cut. Lobsters and crabs are capable of learning and can be trained to find their way through a maze. I know this because I trained one.
So interesting. But you know what I was also wondering? How do crustaceans talk to each other?
Well, decapods that spend a lot of time on land can produce some sound by rubbing one part of their body against another. Marine and freshwater species release special chemicals or pheromones to attract mates.
Hey, you know what I was wondering? How do crustaceans interact with other animals?
Well, many crustaceans form symbiotic relationships with other animals. Certain shrimp establish cleaning stations where they remove parasites from fish which they eat. Other shrimp share a burrow with fish. The fish watches for danger while the shrimp builds and maintains the burrow.
So, what is mating like in crustaceans?
Well, except for one special kind of crayfish, all decapods require males and females to reproduce. In some shrimps, the adults mature first as males and then later develop into females. A few species keep both male and female reproductive parts. Decapods in particular have many types of courtships. For example, male fiddler crabs use their large claws for fighting with other males and attracting the females.
That's so fascinating. You know what I was also wondering? Where do crustaceans live?
Well, while the majority of crustaceans live in marine and aquatic environments, a few species such as the pillbug are terrestrial. Some species of isopods can even survive in the desert. Imagine that. Crustaceans can live in both freshwater and seawater, and are found all over the world, from the Arctic to the seashore, and from the bottom of the ocean trenches 10,000 meters deep to the high mountain lakes at the altitude of 5,000 meters.
Wow!
I was also wondering, where are crustaceans on the food chain?
Crustaceans are found on levels 2, 3, and 4 of the trophic pyramid. Organisms on level 2 are called primary consumers and eat plants. Crustacea at this level include deposit feeders such as the fiddler crab, as well as planktonic, free-swimming species such as copepods and krill. These organisms are an important food source for fishes, whales, and seabirds. Organisms on level 3 are called secondary consumers and eat herbivores. Crabs and other decapods are found on this level. Organisms on level 4 are called tertiary consumers and eat other carnivores. Some species of decapods are found on this level.
My tumbly is rather rumbly. All this talk of crustaceans is making me crave some shrimp scampi, or maybe some lobster. Wait a sec, we eat crustaceans.
Yes, we do. That's part of what makes them economically important. People buy crustaceans at their local supermarket or at their local markets or at restaurants, where they can be prepared to be extremely expensive. Larger decapods, like crabs and lobsters, are a good source of food for humans. Crab meat, for example, by itself, is low in calories and is heart healthy. Some types of crustaceans that are used as food include, on my list, copepods, krill, shrimp, prawns, spiny lobsters, king crab, blue crab, Dungeness crab, stone crab, crayfish, and the edible crab found in Europe. Also, some crustaceans, like the acorn shell barnacle, are regarded as a delicacy in South America. Sounds yummy.
Well, we already know crustaceans live in diverse environments, but you can find crustaceans in your local supermarket too.
Like the ones we have here.
People like to eat crustaceans. How do we match the supply to the demand?
Well, you know how people farm cows or pigs?
Yeah.
Well, people also farm certain crustaceans, like crabs.
Wow!
Many of these farms are located on the Chesapeake Bay area, right here, which is located in that square right there. And also, they're located in the Gulf of Mexico and Malaysia.
Wow, crustaceans are everywhere.
Yes.
Well, are there other importances?
Well, the water flea and the brine shrimp are used as food for fish in aquariums. Other creatures, the ostracopods, are important to geologists and oil prospectors.
There are a lot of benefits of crustaceans, but is there anything they can do that's not good for us?
Well, some of the crustaceans can cause damage to rice paddies and rice fields. Many species of burrowing crabs can cause damage to them. The shrimp, like Thalassemia, eats mud in which the rice grows in. In many cases, the water has to be drained from the farms, and this can cause bad growth to the paddies, or possibly salt water could seep into the plants.
Yikes.
Which we know from our water potential lessons earlier this year, that's not a good thing. Tadpole shrimps can also be found in rice fields, stirring up the silt to find food, and this kills the plants. These problems cause less rice production, which many humans need to survive.
Oh no. Well, another thing I heard is that crabs can be poisonous. Is that true?
That's actually incorrect. The actual crab cannot be poisonous. The only way a crab can technically be poisonous is if the crab eats something like a poisonous plant that's poisonous to us. So be careful what you eat.
I guess so. So I guess you guys are probably wondering where our fellow explorer Isabel went off to.
Yeah, she kind of got really into the hunt and turned into a crayfish.
Yeah, we're not just animal enthusiasts, we're animal emulators too.
That's how dedicated we are.
So, what's next?
I think I'm gonna have Mr. Pinterest here for dinner. He's a lobster. They're really yummy. And maybe I'll also have Mrs. Swimmer too.
Oh, well, we
crayfish.
better go start cooking.
Yum.
Thanks for
can't
watching
wait.
Animal Enthusiasts! Woohoo! We'd also like to thank ShopRite for their fabulous seafood selection.
Yes, and we also like to thank Rich Wolfers for editing this video for us.
Thanks, guys! You make this happen.